On, yay. Welcome back to the second part of the interview. And the last question was, yay, tongue twisters! Woo! Okay, now, the last question I asked you before the battery died was, have you guys thought of a band name change?
Yes, it is something we have discussed as a band. Thing is, though, a name change is basically you're starting over from scratch. You are starting a brand new band,
which isn't horrible.
It's not horrible, but it's also very difficult than already being established in a band.
But you're such a long-standing member of Profaner that, like, it kind of. This is what I was alluding to.
Bump it.
Well, that's what I was alluding to when I was talking about the shell, right? It's just kind of like
hard shell.
Hard shell.
It's
a very hard shell.
I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's been that much turnover because when I joined the band, just one member has changed. But the band's got a long history, right? And it's kind of something you want to keep going in honor of it. Part of you, it would be bittersweet to see it die and bitter dormancy, which is, but no, it'd be bittersweet to see it die because you would like it to lay the legacy to rest in a sense.
Definitely honor.
It would be honorable.
You can't come in.
That's the thing. It would definitely be honorable, but part of us wants to honor it by continuing to write good metal because the way Jay wrote, it wasn't just thrash. It was just his influences are good melodic metal and harmonies and just aggressive, fast music. And not just thrash, right? And it's just, I don't know, I think there's a lot of room, like I said, for us to flourish as writers within this wide, broad spectrum of music that Profaner has within it.
And not only that, because we did always share that vision with Jason, and we did always feel like, we agreed with the musical direction of the band. Us going forward with Profaner will in some ways keep the old parts of Profaner.
Always.
You'll be able to hear them and be able to tell, oh yeah, that's a Profaner song.
Yeah.
But it won't sound exactly, because the big thing is, we also don't want to make it sound too much like Signs of Nine or Bitter Dormancy. Yeah. We don't want to release Signs of 10 or Bitter Dormancy Part 2. If they release Master of Puppets Part 2, would it do so well?
But you know what? But that's the thing. You have a lot of bands who do exactly what they think their fans want, which is release music that sounds just like what people already loved, and then they say, oh, well, you didn't break outside your shell, that's the same album, but part 2. But then, you have a band who tries to bring something new to the table, and they do something different and unique, and then the fans, I'm not pooping on fans, but I'm just saying, the elitist portion of people who have aggressive opinions about music will say that, well, they will either say you didn't stick true enough to your original formula and make it sound like it did before, or it sounds too different. Where do you meet in the middle and make everybody happy? You can't, right?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here on the show first. Anthony hates his fans.
I hate them all. And you know what?
You got the first scoop, guys. Well done. Wow.
You know what?
A round of applause.
No, I just said I'm not pooping on the fans. But
it's definitely a light drizzle.
Because I feel that way too. I feel that way when I listen to an album and you're talking about it with people and you're like, and you're getting right into picking it apart and judging it, and it's like, but wait a minute, who am I to talk? Like, everybody's going to release something, and it's either going to sound exactly like it did before, or it's going to sound different, and there's really not a whole lot of in between, but that's something that I'd like to strive for with Profaner, for sure, to keep those, like, that's why I call it melodic death thrash. That's the kind of genre we've defined it as, is because there is a lot of elements to it, and a lot of different things would remind people of Profaner, if you were to have a part with those epic harmonies and a lot of down picking, that's going to make people think of Signs of Nine or
I personally I feel like no genre can ever define us. We're just a horse that can't be tamed. It's just who we are.
We're unstoppable horse. See what happens when an immovable donkey meets an unstoppable horse.
That's a lyric pun, a very good one too.
You'll have to listen to the title track, Bitter Dormancy, to figure out the reference to the lyric.
And you can find that album on Bandcamp and Spotify.
And all major streaming platforms.
You name an online thing, our album is on it.
I've never even heard of half of these things before. Tidal and Weezer. No, Weezer is a band.
Yeah, Weezer is a band.
Deezer, that's it.
Deezer.
Yeah.
One's like
iTunes?
Yentl, or oh no, that's Streisand.
I like how we go talk about
Sorrento? No, that's a Kia.
Jenga. Oh wait, that's Rap.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere they can find merch? Because that's what I've been looking for from you guys is T-shirts. Because representing local bands.
Yeah. I know. I definitely like me a good T-shirt.
Right now, at our shows is the best place to get all of our merchandise. We are working on setting up an online store. Thing is, we want to do it right.
Yes.
And we want to do it in a way where we kind of control the merchandise, how it goes in and what money comes in. Like, we could...
We've got some ideas for how we're going to do it. That's pretty
We definitely have ideas, but like, you know, we don't want to just rely on some third-party company to do all of our merch selling for us, because then there's questions and consistencies, and, you know, did they sell 20 of our shirts and give us money for 10? So, we've always been a very do-it-yourself kind of band, as much as we can anyways, and merchandise and things like that is something that...
Which seems to be the way it's going nowadays. I was having this conversation about being independent with a lot of people in and outside of music, just and talking about, you know, how...
Name one. Right now, name one person.
Somebody at work? Why? Why do I have to name this for you?
So not one name?
Yes.
Okay.
I can say that, but it's not
It's
relevant.
It's a little suspicious.
It's
fine.
not.
Okay. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. No.
This is.
Oh, you know people. That's fine.
Yes, I know people. They have names. They have feet.
Whoa. You know people with names
Yeah,
too?
feet.
Whoa!
Can't
Wait,
even
why
name
are we
one.
looking at their feet?
It's disrespectful.
Anyways, and we've been talking about like just people's experiences with signing contracts and stuff like that, and it seems less common nowadays for people to accept offers from labels, and I think it's the do-it-yourself attitude. We were talking about this with the Rev recently too. It's the do-it-yourself attitude that's really popular, and there's a lot of tools and resources out there for people that enable them to make great work that's high quality out of their home, you know, and it's really cool. So I think that's becoming really popular. Like, and signing a contract is it's huge responsibility, and there's a great possibility like a label can do their best to try and ensure your success, but if it doesn't work out at the end of the day, it's not the only person who's ever had a non-recoupable record deal is probably like 50 Cent, who got like a non-recoupable deal from Eminem, and I heard that on another interview, but that's it. There's no such thing as non-recoupable deals. Like,
well, because at the end of the day, you signed this record label contract. Okay, they're going to give you $50,000 to put into your band to have one album and a touring cycle and a merge cycle. But what, do you really think that's free money? Do you think you don't have to pay that money back? It's basically a loan. Yeah. You have to pay that money back one way or another.
Yeah.
And there is interest and penalties as well. So, you know, at the end of the day, you signed the wrong deal, which nowadays it's very hard to find the right deal. Personally, it's going to be a while before we get to the next Metallica. Like, the band like Metallica is at such a level where they are an enterprise in and of themselves. They're not just a band anymore.
it'll probably be Ghost.
Probably.
That's where that's what I think too.
But even Ghost can't sell out the same arenas that Metallica can. Yet. I think they will get there. I do agree.
Hey, I actually don't mind Ghost. It's something
I don't
different.
mind Ghost
It's
either.
something
It is
different,
different.
and that's what I appreciate about it.
It's funny. I actually could not care for Ghost at all when they first started, and our old guitarist Jason Crow.
It grows on you.
Our old
does grow on
guitarist,
you.
they just we smoke a joint and he just plays it in the car, and I'm like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
And then I was a fan.
Like, I think it's weird because they're doing like Cops Coliseum in October. And I'm just like, why the hell Cops?
And seeing the ad space that they've taken out, big digital billboards in the city when I'm driving to work, I'm like, wow, Ghost is on a billboard downtown Hamilton.
Like, I think it's weird because back in 2017, I saw them open up for Iron Maiden at the Budweiser stage.
Yeah,
so
I love that show.
Oh
It's a good show.
You got high five.
Nice.
Yeah, a guy in front of me and my aunt threw up me or some other people's kid. It was hilarious to see that fight. It was hilarious.
Sucks for that kid.
Oh yeah, and it was just as the trooper was playing. It was just like, oh, this is kind of perfect. What the hell?
Watch, that kid's gonna grow up listening to rap now because of that one experience.
Yeah, probably. But no, I just want to thank you guys so much for coming on. We're not done yet, but still, I think it's been a pretty good
This
conversation.
has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. General conversation, banter. I love it.
I know. These are the interviews I like the most because you get the best from both me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
This sounds a lot like what it sounds like when we sit on our robot butt couch in the jam space. It's got the smell of 1,000 robot butts, but it's, I don't know. Yeah, this sounds like a lot like our rehearsals. We just sit down and
It's
casual
basically
conversation.
this, but
it's you know, it's stimulating conversation about music and whatever.
I'm wired when we talk.
yeah, and when you mentioned the Rev, you were on Reverend Radio, which is on 101.5 The Hawk. You can check that out anytime.
What? Is that a cat? Hawk?
do it again.
See,
The
no.
hawk like a kilometer away.
Birds of war. Birds of war now.
I'll never do a hawk again.
No, if you're
Hawk
watching.
blocked.
Won't be the first time.
Oh, that's, man. You know what? We gotta mention that to the Rev. When he shuts somebody down on his show, he's gonna say, "You just got hawk blocked."
Have a cat meowing afterwards.
Reverend, if
Why
you're
a
watching
cat?
this,
Yeah, right. Why a cat? Yes,
Steve, why a cat?
The hawk is eating
Because
the cat.
hawks are hard.
A hawk would eat a cat.
Hawk would eat anything.
This could be a good debate.
No, hawk
Okay, would a hawk kill
10 out of
and eat
10.
a cat?
10 out of 10 times.
Eat? Yes.
It would crush its body. It's got like 200 and some PSI claws.
This is
Cats
sounding
are-
a lot like
No, but
Patty's
cat-
pub banter right now.
But cats are also really fast and agile. It's not like you can just swoop in and take
They also
a cat.
sleep in really dumb areas.
A little mouse fighting a scorpion.
No, I mean,
That's
I-
dumb
It's
areas.
like
a hawk can definitely eat a cat.
Hawk wins. No, that's it.
Well,
What about killing the cat? That's
Yeah, cat cannot kill a hawk.
uh,
No way.
it's a bird. What do cats eat? Bird.
Very good
Okay,
point.
get
Have
to
you
the
ever
cat
seen
right now.
Sylvester and Tweety? Have you ever seen Sylvester and Tweety?
Actually, my cat has killed about 10 birds. in its life.
His cat 10, Steven 0.
They bring them as gifts for their owners.
Oh, we've had to.
Cat this big. Hawk this big.
Yeah.
That's a fair fight.
Okay, that's.
not a fair
Wingspan
fight.
though,
It's
or
not a
hawk,
fair fight.
or
Yeah.
hawk,
Clock span or wingspan?
hawk.
Hawk
No.
Oh my
It's
God.
a bird.
It's a
No, it's
raptor, actually.
It is not a raptor. I'm sorry, I didn't see many blokes in the first Jurassic Park.
Oh my God.
Freaking raptor.
So you're telling me that the Toronto Raptors should be the Toronto Hawks?
Right? Is that what you're saying, Steven?
Well, birds.
Steven hates the Toronto Raptors. You heard it here
I'm
first.
very surprised that they have the name the Raptors. It's very cool because it could have been something like the Wolves. Because you're not a true
or the Roof
Canadian
Riders.
unless you have wolf
You know, Minnesota
memorabilia,
has
wolf
Timberwolves.
sweater,
Yeah.
or yeah.
No. We should have been the Dire Moose.
That's
We're moose.
The
but
dire-
just dire.
Oh, that.
The dire moose.
No, dire bears. We're bears, but just dire.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, this is the most fun I've ever had. I'm just
I'm
best
glad,
interview of 2019 so far. Sorry, Raider, Cathar Demise, Striker, and Invicta.
Angelo, man.
Come get a piece of this.
Actually, I asked Raider. One of the questions I asked him last week was, "What's it like having a lead singer who could rip someone in half?" And they just laughed.
Oh, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah,
he doesn't
he's
have
a
a
gentle
bone in
giant.
his body.
Oh,
He's
I
a
know.
gentle giant. Yeah.
He is very nice. No, me, my stepdad, and my friend, we all went out drinking with Raider and Kyle from Invicta after the interviews were done,
Yeah.
Went to this bar, Angelo showed up out of nowhere. He looked at my stepdad and friend and went, "Who the fuck are you guys?" And they went, oh, we're with Colin. No, I know who Colin is, but who the fuck are you guys? And they introduced themselves and they were fine. It was I just loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
So, Kyle Adisi, right?
Yeah, Kyle DC.
Okay, so,
Hey, Kyle.
so between me and you,
Mhm.
that white stroke in his beard.
I think it's awesome.
But do you think he dyes it, or do you think it's natural?
Oh, that's natural.
See, I thought it was I think it's a birthmark.
Really?
That's what I think it is, because there was a kid in my elementary school who had this perfect circle in a white patch of hair, and that was a birthmark.
Like, I know Alex Skolnick has that one strand of hair.
It's
a birthmark. Alex Skolnick? Who's Testament?
Oh, okay, now.
Yeah, he has
now we're talking
a
about
strand of hair that's white, and yeah, his is natural too. Like, I didn't know birthmarks like happened in
Guy on
hair.
my hockey team that has that. It's pretty neat. His eyebrows are white.
Yeah, I knew a
Yeah.
dude who had a gray patch on the back of his head.
Really? Yeah. Because I'm imagining birthmark, like, it's like a thing on your skin.
See, that's what I thought
that's
too.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Just a growth.
But no, yes.
Yeah.
A hideous growth is the only birthmark you can have.
Okay, wow. Okay, well, Steven has some interesting views on birthmarks.
I
And hideous people, okay, I mean, I'm a little more sensitive than that, I'd like to think, but, I guess Steven just running wild here.
I mean, I can ask Kyle next
Totally
time on
hates me right
Crash
now.
in Paradise.
Anyways, Kyle, just answer the question.
I don't care, man. No,
Clearly I do.
I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to be rude and ask, kind of thing.
Well, this is what I'm here for. I'm asking, right now. I'm calling you out,
I
Kyle.
have to have these right in front of us.
Okay. Do you guys know Scott from Ripper?
Oh, yeah.
I have an interview with him next Saturday.
Nice.
Oh, that'll be good.
What should I ask him? Because Kyle and Gabe said it would be fun.
How are you?
How are you?
I'll be honest, I'm an in-the-moment kind of guy.
Yeah.
Once you're sitting in front of me, I'll know what to ask you then.
Okay.
Ask them if they have a song called Ripper. Just do it. Spoiler alert, they do.
They do.
That's all I got, really.
Oh,
But we played with them a couple times.
Is that some terrible name? Is that who set up is it promoter as well? Is he side promoter? Like, band member / promoter?
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't answer that question then. But anyways, yeah, nice guy. I would ask him if it is indeed him, if he's still setting up shows. That's a cool question, I guess, right? Kind of tells us what he's up to. Nice guy.
Are we still good for Battery Life? Okay. I want to make sure this time. Now you guys are from the GTA area. How big of a metal scene do you think it is?
Ontario, I would definitely say, has one of the biggest and most loyal fan bases I've ever seen around. It doesn't matter if it's a weekday, weekend show, there's always going to be a crowd of people there, whether it's a big crowd, small crowd. Ontario, I would say, is one of the biggest metal fan bases.
That's
I've
a lot.
seen.
It's a lot of your time to dedicate to going to being an active member of the scene. Like I applaud it every time I step on that stage. Because I know, like, it's just to put that much time into going out to local shows and supporting bands. You might, like, there's a lot of people who wouldn't say that they have a lot of time to do that, and it's just time is so valuable. So I thank people every single time they're out there because they're the backbone of the scene.
Yeah, like even like looking at myself, like I'm outside of the band, like I have jobs, I have other things I'm doing, like I'm constantly so busy. Hell, I think the last metal show I actually went to was last summer, was Slayer. And since then, just no metal shows, just haven't had the time, haven't had anything, and
I saw Belfort and Darkthrone a couple weeks ago.
oh, I love Belfort, nice.
Yeah, why aren't you there?
What's that? Why aren't you there?
Working?
I have a job! Actually, I'm going to a killer ass show tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, what show?
Aqua, Prozac, Venga Boys,
Venga Boys?
and S Club 7.
What?
Oh, sorry, S Club, S Club. Yes.
Why not 7?
Because 7, I think that was their
The
age.
song?
No, I think that was their age.
Are you thinking about those kids that do those songs?
That's why you don't party like an S-Club
party,
show
yeah.
you there. Yeah.
And Rick Capinelli's gonna be there, Ed the Sock's gonna be there.
Are you serious? Man, so you're basically stepping into the 90s when you get
Yes,
there.
it's called 90s Nostalgia. It's gonna be a killer show.
Oh man, Ed the Sock.
Right?
Oh, I'd love
man.
to meet the guy.
Oh, and a little Prozac and Prozac too. Like to me, they are one of Canada's best exports, right next to Rush.
It's
Like,
really bizarre. Ed the Sock was such a bizarre program.
right?
Yeah, it's just Canada in a nutshell
Like
right
how we
there.
go from metal to talking about the 90s, just
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
just
right?
like
So
that.
Just like that.
Metal was weird in the 90s too.
Yeah.
New metal spawned in the 90s.
Yeah.
Very strange subgenre.
Oh, this one comment my friend made pissed me off so much.
What's your friend's name?
JT.
JT.
This is what he said.
Justin
It's
Timberlake?
for you, JT.
Marilyn Manson created thrash.
Ah!
Yeah, that's what I was just like, what the hell?
JT, you're an idiot.
Marilyn Manson might, you know what I would say Marilyn Manson did? He said things that were intelligent enough to make people raise their eyebrow and go, oh, maybe people in this hardcore, scary music scene have something to offer that's intelligent.
Yes.
But other than that,
Hey, you know what? Big respect to personally, I've never been a fan of Marilyn Manson's music. Just
Yeah.
I never got into it myself.
As a person, he's
But
amazing.
one thing I could really respect about him is he knew how to not just create music that is nice and marketable, but that is sort of metal at the same time.
Mhm.
He also brought a great stage show with it. He had a persona to
Yes.
go with it. Again, just as a businessman, Marilyn Manson was one of the smartest things.
Mhm.
I mean, nowadays, you hear things about him that,
Falling off stage.
yeah, canceling shows. I mean, a little. I don't know if it's a little that or whatever else.
cheers.
No, he's like, Alice Cooper and Marilyn Manson created thrash. He's like, Cooper, I can see. Cooper, I understand.
Cooper can. Yeah, he influenced thrash. I'm sure.
I understand Cooper. Manson, I didn't get. Just like, where did you even get Manson
Because Manson
from?
started after thrash was already a genre.
I'm like,
It started when it was dead.
Man, thrash was already a genre like 10 years before.
Huh?
Thrash kind of not dead, but like it wasn't popular anymore in the late '90s. It was death metal, right?
No, but Manson didn't start in the late 90s.
Did
Give
you
me-
not?
Earlier 90s.
yeah, I'm like,
It was 90s, somewhere in the
American
90s.
American Portrait came out. I think
I
that
think
was
the
the first
thrash
album.
was
like
80s.
94.
Thrash was
Yeah,
80s, so it's
well, I don't know
distinguishably earlier than Marilyn Manson. It's out of Marilyn Manson's decade
Well,
of thrash. Like it's,
metal didn't really have a strong decade in the 90s, except for Pantera. They're the only ones that really kept it alive.
oh, there was a lot of bands in the that were in the late 90s.
Late 90s,
Yeah.
but during the earlier stages of the 90s, it was Pantera that really helped keep it.
Yeah. Oh
Breathing.
gosh, I can't believe we had to rely on Limp Bizkit. And
$3 Billions.
that was
is
a good
great
album. Actually, there was some heavy riffage on that album, but
They did give us two good albums.
Wes Borland is a
Significant
bit of a
Other
dream
and
on
the
the bass
Chocolate.
too. Starfish,
No, the first album, $3 Billions.
$3 bill, and
Their
then
very first album.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Amazing album.
It's
Yeah.
much heavier for sure.
Okay,
It definitely
yeah.
shows more of a metal influence, and then it kind of started getting into more of a hip hop influence. The hip hop influence is always there, but it was.
But I feel that way with majority of new metal bands.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
had that new metal influence.
I've been really curious. Steven, do you like any black metal? Any new metal?
I like Korn a lot.
Nice.
Okay.
I've always wondered, like, Korn.
I like Deftones, but I never purchased anything of them.
Yeah.
Korn. Good
That's
choice.
it.
Good choice. System?
Oh yeah. I don't know. Would you call them new metal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
See, I look at them
I
more
don't
as
They're on the
metal,
nice-
alternative metal.
They're on
And
the.
just
They
cool.
represent new metal well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They really represent it
And
well.
just when they came out as well, they kind of got lumped in with it as well.
There were a lot of people who were very outwardly hateful of new metal, including Randy. He's got some interesting
Who's Randy?
from Lamb of God.
Oh, yeah.
If you listen to their older live sets, he had some very strong opinions about new metal. Maybe that's changed with age and maturity, I don't know, but like he had some very strong opinions about it on stage. It was very funny. Yeah.
Alright, let's start a feud with Randy Blythe. Let's do this, guys.
No, I don't think no. What could we?
Fuck no.
What could we